Well, dozens of local roads have been closed at some point the past few days because of the high water.
But it's landslides causing problems at a familiar trouble spot. Jeff Hurst joins us live along Columbia Parkway with why this keeps happening over and over. Jeff.
Well, the problem is not flooding, it is mudding. Columbia Parkway remains closed here at Bains, and they're taking the cars off of Columbia Parkway down to 52, and you can go down a little further and get on back down around Delta, somewhere like that. So it's not closed all the way out into Fairfax, but it is closed in this general area coming into downtown and coming out of downtown. The landslides are up there behind me, and they're going to clean it up eventually, but the reality is it's going to happen again. Cincinnati is known as the city of 7 hills, but we may be down to 5.5 hills soon because of all the landslides.
In my experience in 4 years, they seem to be increasing.
Parts of Columbia Parkway have been closed twice in the past couple of weeks because of hillside slippage. Over on Straight Street, not too far from UC, a different landslide brought down mud and trees and 2 cars were damaged. No one was hurt. But what causes this? Well, too much rain with not enough ability for the ground to absorb it.
Alert Hamilton County. Flood warning. Flood warning.
But not a flash flood where trees and mud can get pushed down quickly, but rather continuous rain.
It's just over time, and there seems to be an increase in rain in the metro in the last couple of years that we're not having, and we've had the wettest 3 months that we've had in a long time, that we're not giving the ground enough time to dry out. So when the ground has time to dry out, we don't see the landslides. Here it's just rain after rain after rain, and eventually something gives.
The city of Cincinnati has nearly 50 miles of retaining walls. They're inspected every 6 years for movement. Of course, lately the walls have held. It's the land above which moves. If it's private property, it's your expense. Public property, the government pays. The city has about $700,000 budgeted for hillside stabilization and wall repairs this year. Short term, it's just cleanup. Long term,
everybody will have to start looking at landslide-prone areas, and Columbia Parkway is not the only one. And we will have to start either mitigating them ourselves or applying for mitigation funds and starting to figure out a way to, especially Columbia Parkway, which is a major artery into the city and out of the city, that I'm sure the city is looking at ways to work on that problem.
Of course, the problem they have to work on right now is cleaning up the mess, cleaning up the mud, cleaning up the debris, cleaning up the branches, and making sure that it doesn't come back down again. Of course, we talked about how much money the city has for mitigation and repairs. You might say, well, why not spend more money and build bigger walls? Well, it's expensive. The Riverside Drive, not very far from here, there was a big slippage problem there. Actually, it was going to undermine some of the lines underneath, the water lines, the gas lines, and maybe even some of the buildings down there. That is $6 to $10 million in repair, and that's just phase 1. So it's easy to say, go spend more money. The question is, what do you not spend if you spend this? That's politics. Live along Columbia Parkway, Jeff Hurst, Local 12 News. Back to you.
Very well said. Thanks very much. Columbia Parkway, of course, isn't the only road